Hi guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be doing some potato croquettes, and I also want to say that we're going to be doing 25 recipes till Christmas, and I'm very excited for that. This is going to be like a Christmas theme recipe that we're doing today. You can use to make something out of your leftover mashed potatoes. And then we're going to be doing cookies and desserts and probably some entrees and side dishes and whatever we can think of. It's going to be fun. I have put my hair up, washed my hands, drained our potatoes here. These are frozen potatoes I'm using from leftovers from Thanksgiving. I just thawed these out, and they get a little liquidy, they get a little watery after you freeze them and thaw them, so you just drain the extra liquid. We're going to cook them down a bit on this pot, add some extra cream and butter, and then we'll have our potatoes ready for our potato croquettes. I'm going to turn on our stove here, and we're going to add our potatoes. You need about 2 cups of potatoes per each recipe. We probably have exactly that, or maybe a little bit more, so I'm just going to go with what we got. It's going to cook down a little bit. I'm going to do my best to get all these out of here. As you can see, they are a little milky here, but that's okay. We're going to get that all cooked off. It'll all evaporate, and they will be good as new. These are also our garden fresh potatoes. We harvested these together in another video. I'm so happy that we're getting to use every last bit of them. All right, we have our potatoes here. They're hot, just off the stove. That went a lot faster than I expected it to, so keep an eye on them while they're cooking. I have frozen chopped parsley here. We're going to use about 1/4 cup of fresh chopped parsley, so we're going to use frozen parsley instead. So I'm going to use probably 3 pucks of this. I'm going to add these in as my potatoes are still hot because these are frozen, so I want them to kind of melt a little bit. I'm going to let the potatoes cool down a bit with these frozen parsley pucks buried inside. So those melt, these cool down so we can touch them with our hands. Make sure your hands are clean. I did wash my hands. I will wash my hands again when it comes time to assemble them. Anytime you touch food, you want to wash your hands. And we have our Parmesan cheese here, about 1/4 cup that we are going to put in a food processor and grind it all up. And we're going to mix that in with our potatoes along with some garlic. You could throw some onion in there if you want, crushed finely or chopped finely. We're also going to add some salt and pepper to our potato mixture. And going back to the washing hands, I just want to say this now so I don't have to keep saying this every time I do a video. I do wash my hands very often, every time I touch anything, and I crop that out of my videos because it would get awfully boring if I were to leave that in every single. I'm going to start here with 1 clove, maybe a little bit more of minced garlic. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm using sea salt. Use whatever salt you like. 1 teaspoon of pepper. And 1/4 cup of cheese. I'm just going to add all of this, probably more like 1/2 cup. 1 egg. I'm going to mix this all together until combined. And remember, if you're adding fresh parsley and you didn't already add that now. That was 1/4 cup of fresh parsley. And I will link the recipe in the description so you can make this at home. I have made these once before, and what I did with them was I put cheese in the middle. We're not going to do this today because my family asked for it without cheese today. This recipe also doesn't call for cheese in the middle, but I just chopped like little cubes of, I think I did cheddar cheese If I did it today, I'd probably use mozzarella cheese. But it came out so good. So you could do it however you would like to. Alright, that is all combined now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a separate bowl out for our egg wash, our flour, and our breadcrumbs. We're using panko breadcrumbs. I'm sure you can use whatever breadcrumbs you'd like. Feel free to change it up if you know what you like best. I'm going to take my rings off because we're going to have to get in here with our hands. I'm going to wash my hands again after I get all our ingredients out. On my clean hands, we have our 1/4 cup of flour here, a little bit more just to be safe, 2 eggs, and 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs. I also added more to that just to be safe because we do have extra potatoes here. So I'm going to give this one last mix. I kept these in order of which way we're going to be rolling them. The plate here is going to be what we put them on while we're waiting to fry them up in batches. You're going to want to fry them at 350 degrees. You can use oil in your stove, a deep fryer, whatever you have, however you typically fry things. I'm going to use my deep fryer at 350 degrees. Feels very similar to making meatballs. It's not with cold ground beef. I feel like I'm making snowballs. And you're supposed to keep one hand for the egg mixture, one hand for the flour mixture. So I already messed that up, but I'm going to try to rescue myself here so we don't get battery fingers. Looks great. We're going to continue to do that. Okay, if our egg hand goes back into the, and flour hand go back into the mixture because you already have raw egg in this anyways. Flour hand. Do your best to coat the whole ball because if you don't coat, wherever you don't coat is the breadcrumbs are not going to stick. I'm going to serve these as like, you can serve them as an appetizer. You can even serve these if you want to on Christmas Day as an appetizer. Your mashed potato side. But I'm going to serve this to my family as leftovers from the mashed potatoes, and I'll probably make more of these on Christmas, after Christmas. Or what I might do is actually make some potato pierogies. I was debating on doing that this time around, but the Croquettes won this time. So I'm going to be serving these with as either an appetizer before dinner or to eat with dinner. Tonight we're going to try them, and I'm making a lemon ginger chicken dish with some linguine or angel hair pasta. It'll be a little heavy on the carbs, but it's going to be a delicious meal. You can serve it with whatever you'd like. And the lemon ginger chicken, we actually made a marinade of that together in one of our other videos, and it came out so good. So I'm making more of that. And what I did to like make a sauce out of that was I made like a lemon butter cream sauce, and it was delicious. So we're definitely having that again tonight. Now that I know that we like that, I will be making more of those into freezer meals. If you have any of your favorite chicken marinades that you'd like to share with me, I would greatly appreciate that, because I'm always looking for new recipes to try, especially ones that I can make ahead and throw in the freezer. I have a pretty busy life, so it's nice to have things already put aside, especially if I'm going to be doing big baking days and everything, that I can just pull something out and throw it in when I am already feel like I'm done cooking for the day and do not want to cook anymore. That happens quite often, or canning days, or just days that I'm doing stuff with the kids or the family. I will say I did breakfast freezer meals. I did a video on that, and they were like all gone already, so I need to do this again too. I'm gonna switch it up though, and I'll get into a video, and we'll do some different breakfast ideas, so you guys can have some more recipes as well. If you have any suggestions for that as well, then I will taking suggestions. As always, feel free to comment. I like to hear from you guys. You can make these a little smaller if you like. Looking at them now, they look pretty big. That's okay, we can eat them with a fork. Like I said before, you can stuff them with cheese if you want. Just grab your cheese and just form the potatoes around the cheese. Whatever cheese you would like. Cheddar, mozzarella, whatever. Whatever your favorite cheese is that you think you'd like with this. So this is going to be more than what my family is going to eat one night. They only have small children, so they're not going to eat much of this. And my husband and I will probably eat one, maybe two. So whatever I have extra, I will put in a freezer bag and just freeze up, and we'll have that for another night's dinner or appetizer. This could also be a nice thing that you serve to guests when they come over as an appetizer or to go along with their dinner. I was going to make some homemade breadsticks to go along with our dinner tonight, but I thought these would go pretty well, and I needed to use up these potatoes that I had frozen. I'll make the breadsticks another night. And how I was going to do that was I was just going to take my frozen pizza dough I have, since I only have one dough left, and that's not enough to make pizza. My family, off camera, I did a big pizza dough making day. I made 8 pizza doughs. I gave I gave 3 to my mom, and then we had the rest. There's one extra dough from that, so I'm just going to make that into breadsticks or garlic knots or whatever. And it looks like we have just enough breadcrumbs. So yeah, definitely do more than the recipe calls for, just to be safe, because you don't want to be grabbing anything with your hands like this. Of course, don't do that. And you don't want to have to wash your hands again just to get them dirty again right now. Like, I could use a little bit more though, so I might have to do that. You know what? We'll call it a day. That'll be fun. All right, I'm gonna go clean up my area, wash my hands first, and get these in the fryer. I'm gonna show you what they look like when they're done. Don't those just look beautiful though? I'm going to be placing these on a paper towel because they are a bit greasy. And they're going to drain a little bit. This looks so good. This is the one that had less panko breadcrumbs on it, and it's the only one that's split. This will be the one that I taste test for you guys to see how they are. Now I'm going to let these fully cool down and come to room temp, just like this. And before we store them in our freezer bags to go in the freezer, some of these I'm going to take and put in the fridge, and we're going to enjoy those later for dinner. I will also, after these cool down quite a bit, till they're just like warm enough for me to eat, I'm going to give that one a try and tell you guys how they came out and what I would change, or if they're perfect just how they are. Alright, they're all cooled off. I'm going to give this one a try. Let's see if I just break it. Looks so good. These smell so good. Can't wait to try them. Okay, yeah, that's really good. I still would probably prefer it. I would still prefer these with the cheese inside, if you ask me. So next time I'll do that again. Or maybe I'll do like half cheese, half not. But they are really good. It's like a nice mashed potato ball. So good.